You have just started the Fort Riley iSportsman Outdoor Recreational Briefing. This briefing is an overview of the rules and regulations that pertain to general outdoor recreation on Fort Riley and is not all-inclusive. Additional information and regulations you should know can be found on the Fort Riley Outdoor Recreation Map, the Regulation Summary, and on the Fort Riley iSportsman homepage under the Recreational Information tab. During this briefing, you will be prompted by a red pause button at the top left corner of your screen. You are encouraged to pause the video and read the additional material provided. On Fort Riley, the military mission has precedence over any outdoor recreational opportunities. Fort Riley, or portions of it, may be closed at any time without prior notice due to military training activities. The use of vehicles to access all or portions of Fort Riley where outdoor recreation is permitted may be prohibited. A reminder, military training often occurs in training areas designated as open. The training mission takes precedence over any recreational activity, and recreationists are required to maintain a 200-meter distance between themselves and any active body of troops, helicopters, or other military equipment. To access Fort Riley, all individuals 16 and older must possess a federal ID card or a Fort Riley visitor's pass. Individuals who do not already have the required ID or visitor's pass can apply for one at the Visitor Control Center, Building 885, located south of the Henry Gate Access Control Point, exit 301 off of I-70. In addition to the required ID, recreationists must also complete the Fort Riley iSportsman registration and check in, check out daily to recreate on Fort Riley. Failure to complete this process is a violation, and offenders may have recreational privileges suspended. A printed copy of the Fort Riley iSportsman permit must be displayed in the front window of vehicles being used while recreating on Fort Riley. You can print a copy of the Fort Riley iSportsman permit from the iSportsman website. The impact area and MPRC are off limits to recreationists at all times. Listings and maps of open recreation areas will be posted on the Fort Riley iSportsman website and at the Environmental Office, Building 407, Pershing Court. Before recreating on Fort Riley, you must understand how to determine what areas are open, what areas are closed, and how to distinguish between them. For recreational access north of Vinton School Road, please use the old Highway 77 main access point. The MPRC gate access point is subject to close without notice, but can be used if Maneuver Area Quebec is open. A copy of this map is available on the Fort Riley iSportsman website under the Maps tab. Blaze Orange is required September 1st through May 31st. All outdoor recreationists, including archery deer hunters who are not in a stationary position, must wear at least one article of Blaze Orange apparel. During any Fort Riley firearms deer season, all individuals recreating in areas open to firearms deer hunting shall wear a Blaze Orange hat and at least 100 square inches of Blaze Orange on their front and back at all times when they are not in a vehicle or building. Please pause and read carefully some of the general requirements for hunting on Fort Riley. Additional information on regulations, requirements, and a list of hunting season dates can be found under the Recreational Information tab on the Fort Riley iSportsman website homepage. Fort Riley requires that all firearms brought on post be registered with Fort Riley. Firearms may be registered at the Visitor Control Center. For more information about the registration procedures, please review the privately owned firearm guide under the Regulations tab from the Fort Riley iSportsman website homepage, and please review the Fort Riley Regulation 190-1. Reminder, transporting firearms on Fort Riley requires you to adhere to the specifics outlined on this slide and those detailed in the Fort Riley Regulation 190-1. Please pay close attention. Please pause and read carefully the general requirements for fishing on Fort Riley. Additional information on regulations and stocking reports can be found under the Recreational Information tab on the Fort Riley iSportsman homepage. Please pause and read carefully the general requirements for non-consumptive outdoor recreational activities on Fort Riley. Additional information and regulations can be found under the Recreational Information tab on the Fort Riley iSportsman website homepage. The use of motorized vehicles off-road is prohibited on Fort Riley. Individuals traveling outside of the designated off-road trails outlined on the Fort Riley Outdoor Recreation map will be subject to a fine of $100. Repeat offenses may result in suspension of all recreation activities on Fort Riley and additional fines. UXO safety. Recognize, retreat, and report. Do not touch or shoot any unexploded munitions. Please report the location of any UXOs to the Fort Riley Police at 785-239-6767 or range support at 785-239-4200 or on the Training Area Hazard Report form found under the Check-In, Check-Out tab on the Fort Riley iSportsman website homepage. At the conclusion of this briefing, you will take a short quiz. Once you have completed the briefing and passed the quiz, you will select Continue to Permits. The next screen will show you what permits are available to you. Find your Fort Riley iSportsman permit and select Add to Cart. Once you have selected the permit, select Checkout and confirm your order. Once your order is complete, you will be able to print your permit. You must have a copy of your Fort Riley iSportsman permit on your persons and one displayed in the front windshield of any vehicle being used while recreating on Fort Riley. For more specific information regarding hunting, fishing, and other outdoor recreation, please visit the Fort Riley Environmental Office Self-Help Customer Service Room at 407 Pershing Court or call 785-239-6211. To report a wildlife crime, please call the Fort Riley Operation Game Plan at 785-239-GAME or the Fort Riley Game Warden section at 785-239-6767.